Caught us off guard there. We were talking off the air and lost track of the time. And the show open was playing while we were in mid-conversation. Welcome, everyone. I'm Brian. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 46 years on the radio. Welcome, and we have a lot to cover on the program today. The Joe Biden bribery scandal is right at the top of the list. This is huge and it's beautiful news. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to go through all the details, everything that you need to know, everything that is known. We're going to get into involving the Biden bribe that he was busted taking. And this is exciting, people. This could not have happened at a better time. And I'm going to go through all the details of that early on. But there's a lot of other stories going on. There's a Trump rally coming up. And unfortunately, things are escalating with the United States and Russia due to this 51st state Ukraine business that's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about that drone strike, which is actually what we were talking about when the show open was playing off the air, because there's something in play with that we're going to get into. But I first want to start talking about this Biden bribery scandal. You know, I've been saying for the last few weeks that it is highly unlikely that Joe Biden is going to be the Democrat nominee. He is. Now, who that nominee is going to be could very well be someone that's not in the race. And Biden has his own people against him. They don't want him because they're afraid that it's going to end up with Kamala. Now, Robert Kennedy, it doesn't mean Robert Kennedy is going to be the nominee either. It very well could be Newsom in California, but I don't bet. I don't gamble. But if I were to make a bet right now again, 10 things can change this afternoon that change this. But if I were making a bet right now on who the Democrat nominee would be, it wouldn't be Biden, it would not be Robert Kennedy or Gavin Newsom. It would be Governor Cuomo from New York. In fact, there's a story today in the New York Post that Cuomo is going after the female accusers of him to clear his name. And that to me, it looks like he's setting up a move for a political comeback. And this is a beautiful thing because for the Democrats to be fighting over the nomination when they have the incumbent president will be total destruction for their party. It will divide their party every which way but loose. I mean, it'll just be a mess for them, which is what we want. You know, President Trump has always said, you can say what you want about Democrats, but they always stick together no matter what. Well, that's not the case anymore. There's a lot of division inside the Democrat Party, and that division and that infighting when they have the incumbent, because it would not only be Joe Biden they're passing over, it would be Kamala being passed over as well. So that division, that fight, that competition makes it even easier for Trump to come in for final victory. You know, I mean, it just makes it easier. Yeah, you know, and you know, even when Governor Cuomo resigned, we haven't talked about him in a while, but I noticed he's in the news today going after his female accusers. And I thought the charges they made against Cuomo were kind of weak. I mean, he's a single guy. He was hitting on some women. And, you know, hitting on a woman is now considered sexual harassment and abuse and things like this. But when he resigned, when he left the governor's mansion and put this little Yoda-looking creature in his spot, I said then that it is highly likely that he'll be the nominee for the Democrats in 2024. If you remember back then, I said that many times. And maybe that's crazy, but that he would be the odds favorite today. But like I said, 10 things can happen before I get off the air today that would change all of that, you know, I mean, because it's so early on. But he's the favorite, not Newsom. Right now it's him. So that division is something we want. Now, this bribery bust of Joe Biden's, this is beautiful. And after the first break, I'm going to go through the details of it. But there's some important things for people to understand involving the Biden bribe scandal. A lot of people, I was talking about this on my podcast last night, a lot of conservatives will say, we already knew this. Nothing new to see here. Well, that's not true. There's a lot new to see here. Everyone knows that Biden's a criminal. This is a well-known thing. But what we have are not suspicions. What we have is hardcore physical documented evidence of his crime, evidence that can be used in a court of law. So for all those who say, well, this is nothing we didn't already know. I was watching a true crime show the other day. This guy killed his wife and he got away with it. And the family knew he did it. He got remarried, and 10 or so years later, they got him. Sometimes, just because you know someone has done something doesn't mean you can prove or have evidence that they did that just, is indefensible. So we have evidence proving our suspicions, of Joe Biden. We have hardcore evidence that he took bribes, and it's going to get worse. And not only that, look who has the evidence. The deep state. So this whistleblower, we don't know who the whistleblower is. They talk about the whistleblower. We don't know who the whistleblower is. I think I got an idea, though. Not a name, but I think I have an idea. And I will throw this out to you, and you can agree or disagree with anything I'm saying about this today. Give me a call live on the air at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. I think this whistleblower, isn't it kind of convenient? We got all this division in the Democrat Party. They didn't want Joe to run, then he announced, so he's doing it. Don't you think it's a little convenient that not only do we have a whistleblower making claims against Biden, because that in itself is not new. There have been people that have made all kinds of claims against Biden. Business people that have talked about corrupt dealings. We've seen video of him in Ukraine publicly talking about his corruption. There's a woman who says she was sexually assaulted in a very, very, very violation kind of way of her body by Joe Biden. And some of the things we've seen him actually do. But this whistleblower has pointed the Republican leaders in Congress towards a very specific file and a document number that the FBI and the Department of Justice have. So who could this whistleblower be? I don't have an idea of who the name is, but what my thought is about this whistleblower is that this is the uniparty deep state who sent this whistleblower to the Republicans to get Biden out of the way. And the reason I think they would do that is because they've been doing their internal polling that we don't ever see, and it shows that Trump is winning, and he's winning bigly. See, they're in a very desperate spot. They thought, the uniparty, which includes Ron DeSantis, by the way, the uniparty and the deep state thought that when the Bragg-Soros New York indictment came out against Trump, they thought it would be over. They thought that either the people, the Republicans, the MAGA people, that we would turn against Trump, which is insane, but they thought that. They thought that he might even drop out of the race because no one running for high office has been indicted and continued to run, not a credible person at least. And it didn't happen. See, that's why Ron DeSantis blew his cover. He just assumed it was over for Trump, and he got excited and started saying terrible things, letting us know his true character and intentions. So now that President Trump has higher approval than ever, they're in a very desperate state. They know there's no way that Biden can beat Trump. So the uniparty deep state have sent this whistleblower to the Republicans with evidence so that they can get Biden to drop out. So we'll take our first break of the day. I'll get into the details of the Biden bribe scandal after the break. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Now, I know some of you already have, but those of you that are mods, I left a very important message in the mod group that if you guys could go and take a look at it and watch the whole thing, because it's important stuff in there. And I would appreciate that. So if you are one of the mods, go and look at that message I left for the mods. I know some of you already have. Let's see. So what do you guys think about my theory that the deep state sent him out? Sent out this whistleblower. What do you guys think? What are the odds of that happening? I think it's too convenient. All of a sudden, the guy's been corrupt longer than most of us have been alive. He's been doing crime. And now all of a sudden they have a very specific file and a very specific instance. Come on, a little too convenient. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Oh, man. I had to take a different way to get to the radio station today because there was some traffic, an accident or something. I don't know. So I had to take a back way. It took me 1 hour to get here to the radio station today, which is, at that hour of the morning, an hour, that's a lot because, you know, there's not a lot of stoplights and things that hour at that time of the day. Yeah, the mods, when you go and look at the message I left for the mods, I gave you some inside information that no one else knows. Mm. Oh, it matters. It matters a lot. Someone said it doesn't matter without prosecution. It matters a lot. I'll get into that too when we get back.
Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I want to talk about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, and his laser away pain treatment. You know, it is really amazing. It's been about a year since he treated and ridded me of my years of suffering from my knee pain. You know, when I had knee pain, before Dr. Appleton rid me of it, after just 2 treatments with his laser away pain treatment, it was awful. I was always in pain. In fact, it was my right knee, and because of it, I couldn't put weight on my right knee while I was on the air. You know, I stand when I'm on the air, and this was at our old studio in Boca. And I used to have a chair next to me on my left side, and I would lean on that chair quite a bit. Or sometimes I would stand on one leg, just my left leg. And I didn't even realize it for, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know, it was at least a week, maybe 2 or 3 before I realized that I wasn't leaning on the chair anymore and I was putting my weight on my right leg. I'm right-handed. I didn't realize because I was pain-free. He rid me of my arthritis pain after just 1 treatment, rid me of my shoulder pain after just 1 treatment. And this was some hardcore pain. His laser away pain treatment works. There's no injections. It's completely painless. There's no downtime. Works on all kinds of pain, any joint pain, arthritis, neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, strains and sprains, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis. There's a long list and many things that aren't even on the list. So if you're in pain, go see Dr. Appleton. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. Also, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome. He's open Monday through Saturday. He's a chiropractic physician who wants to rid you of your pain. And by the way, I did not know this until the last time I saw Dr. Appleton for my shoulder pain. He told me that a lot of doctors, that they charge people for this whole treatment package, for a whole bunch of treatments. And Dr. Appleton doesn't do that. It's pay as you go. And the reason he does that is because you may only need 1 or 2 treatments like I've needed, right? 2 of my pains he rid me of, I just needed 1 treatment. My knee, it was 2. And by the way, none of the pain is returned. The knee was over a year ago. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. All right, so another thing about the Biden bribe, okay, so the first thing you're going to hear from a lot of Republicans, a lot of people were Republicans before Trump came down the escalator, and this is something I've mentioned before. So a lot of older Republicans aren't used to winning. They're used to losing. People don't remember what it was like, or maybe you're new to politics since Trump came down the escalator. Maybe you're just new to being a Republican since Trump came down the escalator and you were red pill. Prior to Trump, Republicans were losers all the time. They were always being accused of things, just like now, but they didn't stand up. They apologized. They resigned from office. It was awful. It was embarrassing. So a lot of loser Republicans from that era will tell you, well, yeah, okay, they got the evidence, but it doesn't matter because he's not going to jail. He's not going to be prosecuted in a court of law. Well, that's just, a lot of people like to feel like losers. No, Biden is not going to go to jail, and Joe Biden is not going to be arrested and put on trial. Okay? We don't want to do that to presidents. I mean, look what they're doing to President Trump. But what they're doing is bringing him down. They're bringing him down. They're making him vulnerable. Okay? It weakens him, and it'll make it easier for them to get him to step aside. His entire family, 12 people in his family, including Beau's widow, are involved in all of this, plus the bribe. Multiple members of his family could be prosecuted realistically and could go to prison realistically. So they've got all kinds of material with this to get him to step aside, and he won't do it easy. So this is a great. So there's a story in the New York Post today about this. I'm going to go through this one. Here's the headline: FBI tip that allegedly puts Biden at center of criminal scheme sends sleuths around the world. See, FBI tip. This is what I was talking about, how the deep state are trying to get Biden out of running because he can't win against Trump. They thought Trump would be out of the race by now, and he's stronger than ever. See, the New York Post is reporting the FBI tip. So the FBI sent the whistleblower, just like I am theorizing. A whistleblower tip about a document allegedly putting President Biden at the center of a bribery scheme triggered a guessing game across Washington Wednesday as journalists and politicians poured over Biden's extensive history of interactions with his family's overseas business associates. Biden, age 80, regularly met with his son Hunter and brother James in their international connections during and after his 8-year vice presidency, including citizens from China, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Russia, and Ukraine. However, the tip pertains to alleged wrongdoing by Biden, meaning that it may not necessarily involve figures linked to his relatives. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, who is awesome, and Senator Grassley, I love Grassley, he's great, revealed the whistleblower information Wednesday, saying the tip involves an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Biden and a foreign national relating to the exchange of money for policy decisions. If it's as explosive as what we've heard, we expect it to be very difficult to get, however, Grassley has said, but we know it's unclassified now. So this is interesting. Who unclassified this document? All of a sudden, a document that shows the President of the United States taking a bribe for a foreigner, a bribe that he went through and did whatever the money was for. Someone declassified this? This is amazing. Now, everyone's going to Burisma. Maybe it is. But it could be another country. It could be Canada. This guy's got more crooked deals going on. So who declassified this soon-to-be evidence in the congressional hearing? Who declassified it? What country is it? What favor was asked? What favor was delivered? And these questions that I'm asking right now are being asked by the mainstream corporate media. That's another thing that gives this credibility. The mainstream corporate media are covering this story. This is a story about a Democrat like we've never had. So the FBI sent a whistleblower. Someone inside the Justice Department had to declassify the information. You know, how long has it been declassified? Is this newly declassified? You know, and I hope when they get into the congressional hearing, they get into when it was declassified and who declassified it, because that's important too. Now, there's a lot more details on this, but we're going to take our bottom of the hour break. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break, and I'm going to get into more details about the Biden bribe scandal. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
See, I already saw somebody. Oh, we've heard this. Oh, well, if you know everything, why are you here? No, we got evidence now. We got a witness. The whistleblower will be a witness, and there are documents, and there's a file.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. We're going to see a daytime high today, somewhere in the 80s. A lot of sunshine expected. High pressure still in control, so we will remain dry with low humidity. I'm WPD Out 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store.
Oh, yeah, this is beautiful stuff. It doesn't get better than this. Someone asked if I'm in a radio booth. No, this is not a booth. This is it's a pretty large studio. On my YouTube Shorts, I made a short video that's a tour of the studio. Absolutely, it's 4 espresso shots. Absolutely. By the way, did you mods go check out the message I left in the mod group? Get a little insider information there.
Traffic is service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC has the best derby party south of Churchill Downs. Kentucky Derby Fest is coming up May 6th. Check out the on-track party with Jumbo.
No, the mainstream media are all over this story.
Connected derby hat contest, barbecue food tent, bars, mint juleps, fun activities, and true oldies will be there with great handicapping tips and prizes. For info, go to PBK.
That's surprising. The mainstream corporate media are actually covering the story.
My husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE to check out KANE and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Hmm. Oh boy, I tell you, this is just a beautiful time, isn't it? A beautiful time. You know, we've never seen division like this among Democrats ever. And then we see the division on who's going to be the Democrat nominee for president when they got the White House. This is majorly, yeah, historic. Mm-hmm. It weakens them so much. You know, this is a very, very historic time. Gavin Mussolini, I like that. All right, there was another story I.
Keep counting at those stop signs, Alex. Full stop. It doesn't go until she counts to 5, McSweeney, because you are a safe driver. Unlike most drivers who sign up for Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate for how and how much you drive, and a discount for your good driving. So don't turn into an Alex rolling stop and goes whatever she wants, McSweeney. Because once an Alex full
Oh yes.
counts to 5, McSweeney, always an Alex full stop.
Well, going to church is always a good suggestion. Absolutely.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. By the way, I was just listening to Friendly Mike from Friendly Tire. You know, when you call him for a quote over the phone, his very, very low prices are out the door and on the road because he doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. And all the cars in my family are on the road on tires from Friendly Tire. And as rainy season approaches, you want to be out on the road with proper tires so you're safe, all right? So stop by Friendly Tire, get some new tires on your car. And by the way, the thousands of used tires in stock are very good used tires. I bought new and used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio because he will take extra good care of radio listeners at Friendly Tire in Margate. All right, so, you know, this move that's going on against Biden by the Democrats for him not to get the nomination is historic. This is something we haven't experienced. This is bigger even than when Ted Kennedy challenged Jimmy Carter. That didn't go anywhere other than Carter losing. This is a multi-pronged attack against Joe Biden. And all these stories are out there. You just have to put the pieces together. There's a story in Breitbart this morning. Listen to this. You tell me that the Democrat, Republican uniparty and deep state are not trying to push Joe out of the way. Listen to this story. This is in Breitbart today, and it seems unrelated to the bribe story, but no, the bribe story and this are very much connected. Now remember, Joe Biden has announced he's running. Not only is he running, he's the sitting president, right? So he's the head of their party, supposedly. While President Donald Trump is soaring, this is in Breitbart, while President Donald Trump is soaring in the polls and driving huge fundraising numbers, Joe Biden's campaign has only 2 full-time staffers. 2 staffers? 2 people? He's the President of the United States. I know, it's... yeah. And he only has 2 staffers working on his campaign? That's it. 2 staffers. Something, huh? Does this sound like the Democrats are putting a real effort Joe Biden's campaign has only 2 full-time staffers. This was according to Axios. The Biden campaign manager, which is Cesar Chavez's granddaughter, has not even officially started her job. And it says here she'll remain out of the decision-making loop for another 2 weeks as she is still working for the Biden administration. So actually, the Biden campaign only has 1 employee. They're counting Cesar Chavez's granddaughter as the second one. She hasn't started yet. Does this sound like a credible campaign? I know people that have run for like local state office or city office that are just doing it because they have nothing to do after Pilates, and they have a bigger campaign staff than this. The Biden campaign has also failed to report fundraising totals. What's worse, the Biden campaign does not even have an official fundraising team leader. They have no fundraising operation. They only have 1 staffer right now. They're going to have 2 soon. Does this sound credible to you, like a credible campaign? You put that together with the bribe scandal, and there's more. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, yes. That's the Democrat response. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, looking at, I mean, we're talking about how many staffers this guy has.
He has 1. He has 1 campaign. Yeah, 1 campaign staffer. He has 1. He's the sitting president of the United States running for re-election. He has 1 campaign worker.
Think about this. The guy who did to us, and Ron DeSantis probably has more staffers than this guy does.
If you were running for sewage commission in whatever town you're in Louisiana, you would have more campaign staffers, Mike. So we've got the FBI and Justice Department have declassified this bribe file and documents. They've sent out a campaign or a whistleblower to the Republicans in Congress in both houses about Joe Biden's bribe from a foreign person, pay for play. They've cut off his campaign. He has 1 fundraising person. He's not even fundraising. The donors, the Democrat donors, are not donating. And he has 1 campaign worker. And he doesn't have a single person running his financing for the campaign. Does that sound to you like a real campaign? It's a presidential campaign in name only. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE1's the number. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hi, this is Nick from Florida.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, yeah, Brian, I just wanted to know about why exactly you think what exactly you think the DNC is plotting, and which candidate specifically you think that they're trying to, push to the nominee. I talked about this right at the top. I think today the favorite is Governor Cuomo from New York. Cuomo. That would be interesting because I don't know if you remember this, but South Carolina was the state that Biden.
No.
DNC has actually made South Carolina. They're trying to push South Carolina to be the first state.
Yeah.
And having no Democratic primary debates, which they're trying to cancel, seems like the DNC is trying to favor him. It seems like they're trying to give him an easy.
See, no, what's happened? They have no campaign workers, no fundraisers. They're leaking information from the Justice Department of his crimes with documented evidence. No, they're against him. See, Cuomo is still popular in New York, and well, he's a disgrace to us, but he's not a disgrace to Democrats. They like Cuomo, and the thing about it is they didn't think Trump would still be in the race. They thought that Bragg Soros grand jury would force him out of the race. He's more popular than ever, and they remember the dueling that went on with the press conferences during the COVID period, and they've done some polling, and they think that Cuomo has a chance against Donald Trump, and I think he's their favorite right now. They want him to run, not Michelle, not Kamala, not Joe, not Newsom. They want Cuomo.
Interesting. And the last question I had was, if you remember in the 2020 primary, in the last second, right before Super Tuesday, Mayor Pete and I believe it was Klobuchar, they had, they had a wee bit of support, and they ended up dropping out and supporting Biden, and that put him over the top in the Super Tuesday state.
Yeah.
You think that now that DeSantis is getting, Fox News' support and all this establishment support, that at the last moment they might try to pull something off where they, Nikki Haley and Ramaswamy, all these other candidates drop out and endorse DeSantis to try and do the same thing?
Not going to work. Not going to work. If you took all the other candidates and put their numbers together, Donald Trump would still have a double-digit lead. They're all unpopular losers, especially DeSantis, who's dropped he's at 16 points in the latest poll against Trump. Trump's at 62 and DeSantis is at 16.
Interesting to see what happens. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate the call. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, think about that. DeSantis, if you're listening to my voice right now, in the presidential polls, you are much closer to DeSantis than DeSantis is for Trump, and you're not even running, right? You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, Brian, Vincent Wellington.
Hey, Vince.
Yeah, I was just calling in about this whole Biden situation with his campaign. And I mean, I know everybody remembers 2020 campaign for him and how disoriented everything was with it. From him basically campaigning from his house in Delaware or going to...
Well, but hold on. Yeah, but hold on. He might have campaigned from the basement, but he still had a campaign operation and a fundraising apparatus, and he didn't have his friends at the FBI declassifying, this file they declassified of him taking a bribe. This is part of the J. Edgar Hoover files that still exist, that they're always adding to, that they use to control elected officials. And they've taken one of their blackmail things that they use to control Biden, and they've declassified it, and they're giving it to the Republicans in Congress to bring Biden down. This is amazing what's happening.
Well, how much of the FTX and how much of all this money that's been stolen by the illegal funding campaign?
Biden has been cut off. He doesn't have. There's not a single person running his fundraising operation. He has one campaign worker. He's been cut off from the donors, the DNC donors. He's been cut off from the Democrat donors and the Democrat Party, and he's got his friends at the Justice Department against him. This is uncharted territory. This Biden bribe scandal is huge.
So my question is to you, really, I guess, would be that, do you think that they're going to actually try to pull the 25th Amendment, the Democrats themselves, on Biden?
No, they don't want. No. They don't want Kamala. They just want him to announce he's not running, and then they're going to back whoever it is they choose at that point. They want.
They wouldn't have to slide Kamala in. They could slide somebody else in with more popularity support.
Well, if the 25th Amendment, the 25th Amendment means when it's completed, Kamala would be president, and they don't want her to be president.
Right. I mean, well, I guess we'll all see what happens, but I know it's campaigning, whatever these people are going to put out as far as ad fundraising and whatever else is not going to be. I mean, I've seen a couple ads on YouTube for Biden already, so it's weak, and it looks like he's reading off the teleprompter even on his ad.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the call from Wellington. Got to run. We'll take our break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all
That's right.
to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating your knee pain with laser, treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation.
Oh boy, this is so exciting. So exciting. You just have to look for all the stories, and it's all put together.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours at one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now in Boca and Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my
Welcome everyone. Make sure that you like the video if you're in the chat there.
These are the only two advertising on our radio station, so don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Pioneer Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of 707 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio. Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass dome coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make
Great calls so far this morning.
Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, yes, welcome back. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. This is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. That's right, the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. People from other radio stations have challenged that. Every once in a while, I'll hear from someone, and they'll challenge it, and they give me different years, 87, 88, 86, I've heard, but nothing that started in 1977. It's absolutely amazing, and it's because of all of you out there. Thanks for all of your support over the years. Now, Mother's Day is right around the corner. There's no better gift than something from MyPillow.com. Mother's Day doesn't include just your mom. It includes your grandma, if she's still with us. Includes your daughter, if she has children. And also includes your wife, if you have children. Some people sometimes want to give Steve and me Mother's Day gifts because they say we're a mother of another kind. But Mother's Day is a very important day. Don't give mom candy or flowers. Flowers die. Women are always on diets. Go to MyPillow.com and get her a gift that she will remember for years to come. The MyPillow My Slippers for women right now with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, are just $49.98. They make great, great gifts for Mother's Day. The MyPillow bathrobes, I did a poll in my YouTube chat room last week and asking people what their favorite MyPillow product was, what they think would be best for Mother's Day. And the women overwhelmingly said the MyPillow bathrobes. The MyPillow bathrobes, which come in many new colors, they even have them in pink, but they got a lot of new colors. They come in both a heavy robe and a lighter robe, and they're just $59.98 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And at these prices, buy two. Buy one for mom, and then a month after Mother's Day is Father's Day. So it's a pretty good deal, huh? You get both of them. But these make great gifts. There is still time to order and have them here before Mother's Day, or you can have them shipped directly to mom, whatever you're buying her. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so this Biden bribery scandal, this is huge. The Biden bribe is huge. And I'm putting together the pieces of a very complex operation that the deep state and the Democrats are running against Joe Biden. So the bribe, just to recap, and then there's something new that I've referenced, but I'll give you the details of it in a moment. So the whistleblower is an FBI whistleblower who has come forward with a declassified file that is documented evidence that Joe Biden took a bribe from a foreign national when he was vice president, and he did something policy-wise for that bribe. That could be treasonous. That's a very big crime. And I believe it comes from their J. Edgar Hoover files that they use against all the politicians, all the elected officials. And they declassified one of their blackmail bribes because they tried to get him not to run again, and he did it. He defied them, and he's running for re-election when they didn't want him to do it. They didn't think Trump would be in the race. They thought the Bragg-Soros grand jury would force him out of the race. It didn't. It made him more popular, and Biden can't beat him. So that's one thing. So the deep state uniparty Democrat machine has declassified this FBI bribe file and given this evidence that's coming to the Congress, the Republican House. This is beautiful. Then, I know this is crazy. Then we find out that he only has one campaign staffer. He has a second one that's going to be starting in a couple weeks, Cesar Chavez's granddaughter, but he only has one campaign staffer. This is the sitting president of the United States. This isn't the mayor of South Bend, Indiana running. This is the president of the United States. He has one campaign staffer. His fundraising arm is being cut off by the fundraisers of the Democrats. He doesn't have anyone running a fundraising operation. Now, I was telling you, it looks to me that they're looking to replace him with someone, and I think today, now again, this could change, but today I think they're working on Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, Fredo's brother. Listen to this. Disgraced former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has subpoenaed a number of women who accused him of sexual harassment in an attempt to clear his name as he fights a civil suit. Governor Cuomo sent the subpoenas to, there's 5 of the 11 women who have accused him of sexual misconduct. The 65-year-old resigned in 2021 during a probe into his behavior by Letitia James. Governor Cuomo's subpoenas are seeking records from the investigation and are also calling on the women to give depositions about their accusations, and this has been reported in the Wall Street Journal. Sent in March and April, the Cuomo subpoenas are likely part of his defense against a federal lawsuit brought forth by a state trooper known as Trooper 1, who said the governor touched her inappropriately while she was working his security detail. So here you have Cuomo going to court, challenging his accusers. He could just ride this out, but he's not. Why would he go to this trouble of clearing his name right now? And what he's doing is making a move to discredit those who have made accusations against him. Why would he do that other than he plans on running for office? All these stories that I'm sharing today, a lot of it seems unrelated, but when you put them all together, when you connect the puzzle pieces, you've got one big picture. Trump is hugely popular. They thought DeSantis was going to be our guy, and they got a lot on him, and he's weak. So they thought DeSantis would be the front runner right now, and he would easily be defeated because he's so weak, as we've seen, and it didn't happen. He may not even announce DeSantis at this point. He's done. They know Biden can't beat Trump. They got to do something. And like everything else that the uniparty and the deep state have done, they're always operating some scheme against President Trump. And what scheme have they run against President Trump that turned into anything other than him being cleared? What a beautiful time. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Oh, man, we've just gotten started today. I got a lot more, too. I've just scratched the surface. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's JC in Tampa.
Yes, JC. JC is always somewhere else.
What you're saying all the last 15, 20 minutes is the Democrats have gotten rid of Kennedy. Robert Kennedy Jr. He's out. He's gone because I noticed you conveniently forgot about it.
No, I've been on since 6, and I talked about him at the top. He's polling now at about 20%.
Okay, so he's got more than all the Democrats put together.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy is at war against the deep state. He goes around the country telling people that the deep state killed his father and his uncle. So they're not going to let him get the nomination and be president.
Well, hopefully you're wrong. Have a good day.
Okay, hopefully I'm wrong. And then he hung up. You know, it's okay, Democrats. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid. I was going to ask him some questions, but I'm not going to tell you what those questions were. I'll save those for another Democrat at another time. But no, if you look at Robert Kennedy is constantly questioning the deep state. They're not going to let a guy who's questioning the deep state all the time get the nomination. Because do you know what he would do? Do you know what, if Robert Kennedy became president, do you know what his first action would be? Declassifying all of the Kennedy files, all the Kennedy assassination files, Warren Commission, all that stuff. He would declassify that stuff instantly, and whatever they have on his father too. You know, which it's time. It's been 60 years. Come on, you know, it's time to do that. But that's what he would do, and they're never going to allow him to have authority where he could declassify all of the JFK, Bobby Kennedy files, in particular the JFK files, because the deep state did both of them. So no, he's not going to be the nominee. I mean, I'd be very interested in him being able to do that, and maybe he's going to bring so much attention to it that it very well may possibly happen at some point, but I don't think they're going to let it happen. So no, Bobby Kennedy. And you know, it's so early now. When someone is surging that's, you know, kind of an outsider this early on, rarely do they rise up to the top unless they have support. See, Obama, a lot of people think that Obama just got lucky and everything else. No. Harry Reid and Carolyn Kennedy and Ted Kennedy recruited Obama and got behind him and got him to run when he was in the Senate. Okay, so he had the backing of the establishment of the Democrats before most of us could even figure out how to pronounce his name properly. Okay, so that wasn't just some guy who came out of nowhere and won the presidency. He was backed by the establishment of the Democrat Party. Robert Kennedy doesn't have any of that. He's got some celebrity status, don't get me wrong, and that's of course very interesting, but it's not going to work out well for him. Eventually, he's going to fade away, and maybe he'll like it so much he'll go third party. It's hard to say, but no. And I mean, look what he just said 2 days ago. He said he's going to pardon Snowden, who I think Snowden works for us. I think Snowden is a double agent. I think he still works for our intelligence community, and that's what he's doing in Russia. But he said he's also going to pardon Julian Assange, and they're terrified of Julian Assange, which I don't quite understand. He's just a reporter. He's just a journalist, you know. So yeah, you know, I don't know, but and I've heard him since he's announced talk about how the deep state are responsible for the assassination of his father and his uncle. So there's no way. There's no way they're going to allow that to happen. All right, 1 hour's down. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Now, if you miss a portion of the show, like obviously the first caller missed the first segment or two of the show, you can always catch the entire show on our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. And about an hour after we sign off the air every day at trueoldiesfla.com, the entire show is uploaded as a podcast. So if you miss a part of the show, or miss a show, you can catch it there. Or maybe you want to hear your call. Maybe you want to download and preserve your call to play for your friends. You can do that too. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the top and come back with your calls and more after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK.
Oh, yes. This is serious serious business we're in right now. This is very high level stuff.
Injured recently? Call the Ropes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700.
All right.
Winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. We're going to see a daytime high today, somewhere in the mid-80s. A lot of sunshine expected. High pressure still in control, so we will remain dry with low humidity. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Just in that traffic on Lakewood Road, eastbound towards Jog Road. Further south on the Plantation, Turnpike 105 before Sunrise Boulevard, a car fire was blocking the single right lane. Emergency vehicles are there working on cleanup. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local Sweetport farmer letting you know that Florida Sweetport is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida, look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic. Chris Barr.
Traffic is service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC has the best derby party south of Churchill Downs. Kentucky Derby Fest is coming up May 6th. Check out the on-track party with jumbo screen, live music from Sip and Fire and the Connected, derby hat contest, barbecue food tent, bars, mint juleps, fun activities, and true oldies will be there with great handicapping tips and prizes. For info, go to pbkennelclub.com. Here's your true oldies ABC News update.
The nation's latest mass shooting is in custody in Atlanta. Dean Patterson accused of shooting 5 people Wednesday at a medical arts building, killing 1. His mother says he was upset over a mix-up.
I'm reading the
Depression meds. Mayor Andre Diggins
updates on that story from the subway in New York, which I'm gonna take another call or two, and then get into that a little bit. And I don't know what the mainstream conservative opinion is on that, but I'll tell you what I think when I go through the story. I'm gonna tell you now.
says its Dunan slowed declines in patients' mental function by more than 1/3 in a large clinical trial. Ukraine denies it. Russia accuses
Oh, what a beautiful day it is today. I hope it stays this way for a while.
Kremlin. Zelensky says Ukraine is fighting on its own ground. This is ABC News.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe. Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. In just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might
Yeah, it's beautiful outside. Beautiful. I hope it stays this way. There's the last commercial. We'll be back in just a moment.
lab test out? Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies.
Oh, yeah.
Appointment is necessary.
Seas rising. Yeah, that's right.
Heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
All right, here we go.
1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, coming up on 6 minutes after the hour, it is Thursday, May 4th, which of course is Star Wars Day. The May the 4th be with you day. That's right. And, you know, it's an important day. This is May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day, and the Steve Kane Show has been on the radio since 1977, right? The longest-running radio show in the state of Florida. 1977 is when Star Wars was in theaters for its original theatrical run, and I was there. I saw it in the theater. A lot of you saw Star Wars in the theater, too. I was little. I was 6, but I remember it well. I remember it very, very well. I went with my cousins, and I went with 2 of my cousins, and I remember we went and one with someone who had a van. This was the 70s, and the van, I'm not kidding you, I remember this, I was 6 years old, the van had shag carpeting in it. And it's so weird, and I remember that so well. All right, anyway, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We're talking about the Biden bribe, which is just a huge story. And I'll take another call or 2 on this, and then I got to get into this New York subway incident. But you're welcome to call in about the Biden bribe, and I will recap it as we go on the rest of the day, because I think I've picked up on some big stuff here. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, it's Evan Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking that certainly that the deep state does not want Kennedy because he's not very popular with the pharmaceutical.
Well, when Robert Kennedy says the deep state killed my father and my uncle, all right, when he's saying that all the time, do you really think they're going to let him become the president? Come on.
No, I don't think he's going to be able to get enough backing because I think you're right. They're probably going to pick Cuomo if Biden decides to.
But you know what? I hope when it gets to the point where Robert Kennedy has to drop out, I hope Trump embraces him and he brings Robert Kennedy into the fold and puts him in charge of a special presidential commission into the Kennedy assassinations. I would love that. And then Trump can declassify all the files.
That would be great. That would be great. And why was it not declassified, really? I mean, this is a murder, and what are they covering up? You know what I mean? Everybody wants to know this, and they still want to tell you. There's got to be so damn...
Well, I always thought the Kennedy conspiracy ideas were just nutty. I just thought they were nutty until I saw what the deep state did to President Trump. And then I believed it all, and I believed everything they ever said about J. Edgar Hoover, and it's all true. And, because we've seen what they've done to, and are still doing to President Trump. I mean, look at this Biden bribe story I've been talking about. So look what's happened. An FBI whistleblower has come forward with a declassified file that the FBI and DOJ have, with a document number and everything. They even have the form numbers that shows that Joe Biden took a bribe from a foreign national and then did something policy-wise after he took the money. Who declassified that, right? They declassified it to go after Biden. This is how they operate.
They don't want him, but I don't think that guy is going to decide to leave. You think he's...
Okay, all right, now, okay. All right, now 1-888-GO-KANE-1, you're very much welcome to call in about the Biden bribe still, and I am going to go back and recap some of what I've discussed in the last hour and 10 minutes because I think it's big. But I want to talk about this subway incident that's turning into a big incident up in New York, and, this chokehold death on, if you're on hold, stand by, I just want to get this out. This chokehold death on the subway, based on all of the reports, at this point, it looks like overkill. I know this guy that did it he's a Marine, right? Marines, soldiers, they're not trained like police officers. They're trained to kill. And it was definitely overkill. This looks like a manslaughter case. And the guy was obviously insane, and he was harassing people. I don't know if he was threatening anyone's life. Witnesses say no. I've seen the chokehold video that's online. I just watched it again during the top of the hour break. I know this guy is a Marine, but that doesn't mean that he can go around killing people. And I know he probably didn't mean to kill him, but accidental is still manslaughter. And I would say, based on what we know now, I would arrest the guy and charge him with manslaughter. This is why when they talk about school security, they talk about using soldiers. That's a bad idea. Soldiers are trained to kill. They're not trained to subdue someone. They're trained to kill. So that's why you don't want that's why you don't want soldiers doing police work without updated and new training. So let me go. This is in Breitbart. A homeless man died after being placed in a chokehold for 15 minutes by a passenger on a New York subway train Monday. Footage, which is very disturbing. Don't watch it if you don't really need to. I only watched it. I didn't want to watch it, but I felt I had to watch it so I could talk about it. Footage captured by passenger and freelance journalist Juan Alberto Vasquez shows 30-year-old Jordan Neely on the train floor with his head wrapped in the arms of a person the New York Post reported is a Marine Corps veteran. This was 2:30 in the afternoon on Monday. He started screaming in an aggressive manner, Vasquez told the Post. He said he had no food, he had no drink, he was tired, and he doesn't care if he goes to jail. Maybe he wanted to get arrested so he could get fed. He started screaming all these things, took off his jacket, a black jacket that he had, and threw it to the ground. Neely has a history of mental health issues and prior arrest for assault and disorderly conduct. But according to Vasquez, Neely had not physically attacked anyone before the 24-year-old Marine intervened. The footage shows two other passengers constraining Neely, who was flailing his arms after Neely stopped moving. The passengers continued to hold him for an additional 50 seconds. During that time, one of them, who looked to be holding Neely's arms, said the passenger was not squeezing. No more, he said. So he died right there. That's why the video, you actually see him die in the video. It's not, you don't want to see that. The conductor of the train called 911 once the train reached Broadway in the Lafayette Street, Bleecker Street station. On his Facebook page, Vasquez, that's the citizen journalist, said passengers had called the police when the incident occurred, but they didn't arrive till after. The 24-year-old Marine was taken into custody, but later released. Now, it's a tragedy. The Marine didn't mean to kill him, but he did. And when you do something that results in someone's death, and it's not life-saving, and your lives are not in danger, and you kill someone, it's manslaughter. This is why I didn't realize this until I've talked to people, and then I realized how wrong I was. Starting in July in the state of Florida, we have a new law starting in July, concealed carry without a permit, which means no training. And I hope everything turns out well, but most people don't know when you can take your gun out and use it and when you can't. Okay? And that's going to result in all kinds of problems throughout the state of Florida. And the same goes with this. If a homeless person is causing a disturbance and they're not threatening someone's life and your life is not in danger, you can't just kill them. So I'm sorry to tell you, what this Marine did is manslaughter. And just because he's a Marine Corps veteran, but you're always a Marine, right? just because he's a Marine doesn't mean you get a pass. Doesn't mean I'm going to support him. I mean, look at this sailor, this transgender sailor. Does he get a pass to be trans and do this recruiting video because he's in the service? I'll take your calls on this, and I don't know what the mainstream conservative view is going to be on the subway, but I think the guy needs to be arrested and charged with manslaughter. Unfortunately, because it's New York and it's Bragg, and you got people like AOC getting involved, there's a lot of politics involved. But I'd very much like to hear your thoughts. 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm open-minded. You know, if I'm wrong on this subway incident, I am here to be have my mind changed. You know, I change my mind all the time on things when I get new information. But right now, I saw it, and it doesn't look good. All right, we'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
I don't know. You guys let me know. I mean...
954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here, we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.
Brian Craig here. Are you looking for a reliable scooter sales and repair shop?
Mm-hmm.
No further than anything.
What do you guys think? Was the Marine right or wrong? Just put right or wrong. Was the Marine right or wrong on the subway? Right or wrong? The chokehold and holding the guy there till he died. Right or wrong?
So don't let that old scooter gather dust in the garage. Trade it in and get a great deal on a new ride. If you're looking to upgrade your scooter's performance, they've got you covered. Their expert technicians can handle anything from simple oil changes to engine rebuilds, even high-performance modifications. At Anything Scooters, they use only top-quality oils and replacement parts to ensure that your scooter runs like it should. They're very friendly and they have...
Oh, Kathy Hyatt. Wow. We got, hold on. I'm going to go through the Kathy after the break. I'm going to go through it. Don't watch the video if you don't have to. Wow, people are split. But it looks like the wrongs, there's more wrongs than rights, I think. It's hard to go. The chat goes so fast. But
when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get 30 back in rewards to use on big things, little things, or anything they need. Plus, find new deals in store.
I'm going to go through a more detailed story on it.
And shipping supplies. Because for small businesses, Staples knows savings.
Well, just because someone is in this as a veteran doesn't mean that they, you know, can go around and do these things.
Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right. Welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. The Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer is back. This is awesome. You know, you guys know I have this doorbell camera. Sometimes I get home and my wife, she's right there. She opens the door up for me and lets me in because she sees me in the doorbell camera before I even get to the door. It's nice. It really is. Now, you can get a doorbell camera if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050. You can get a free doorbell camera that, like mine, connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. All right, they're going to give you some more, too. They're going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. And if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 833-283-5050, that's 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. This is a limited time offer, and you've got to be one of the first 40 listeners who call this morning, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. All right, let's take some calls. You're welcome to call in about anything I brought up so far this morning. To me, it looks like the Marine is going to do some time, and he should. All right, you're on the air. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. Excuse me, of course. It's Stacy from Deerfield Beach.
Hey, Deerfield.
I wanted... Listen, did you hear about the incident in Atlanta yesterday?
No.
Okay.
Are you talking about the shooting? Oh, yes.
The gentleman that did it, the person that did it, unfortunately, there was a fatality, and then I guess there was 4 people wounded. He had a history of mental illness.
Well, most people that commit mass shootings and murder people have a history of mental illness, right? If you look at the mass shootings, and we've had a series of mass shootings, right? Atlanta, Nashville, and Kentucky, all of them done by liberals. 2 of them done, the one yesterday was a black shooter, the one in Nashville was a transgendered shooter, the guy in Kentucky was a Democrat, Trump hater. So the media, the reason I had to think for a second when you say Atlanta, because the media aren't covering it because his skin color doesn't fit their mainstream corporate media narrative.
Right, and my question is, how do they check for people who have to obtain a firearm?
Well, how do you do that? How do you do that?
Well, I know medical records, but it's like maybe that should be something that they should look into.
Well, I don't know. I know that most people have, not everyone, but most people have a support system around them, family, friends, and coworkers. And when I was young, there was someone in the family, an adult who was suicidal. They were married to somebody. They married into my family, and I don't want people to think I have a history of that in my family, suicidal stuff. And they were very suicidal, and I grew up in the exact opposite of a gun-free home. There were guns that were loaded on the kitchen counter in every corner of every room, where I was growing up. And the first thing that my grandfather did was go around and collect all the guns. Right? So you don't want to put people's medical records in some federal database. And what if somebody has some trouble sleeping and then they get prescribed something that can also be used to help them sleep, that can also be used for depression? Oh, all of a sudden they're mentally ill? No, it's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think the most important thing is that these people really don't have the family support that they should, or to have them counseled, or it's a very
well. Look. You're in Deerfield Beach, right? So we, not far from Parkland. Look at Nicholas Cruz in Parkland. You had a crooked Democrat-run school board, school district, and sheriff's office. The cops had gone to Nicholas Cruz's house over a dozen times. One of them, I remember, was an elder abuse call. If they were cooking the crime stats, they didn't want to arrest him. He was threatening to kill people at the school over a breakup or so, over a girl. They didn't want any crime stats. They never arrested him. If they would have arrested him, he wouldn't have been able to buy all those guns that he murdered those children and adults with at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Yeah, that was, and I heard a lot of things that what he did to animals too, which is very disturbing.
Well, I told you guys, I ran into him once at Wawa on 441 and Locks Road, and before all this happened, of course, because he got arrested. And I was on my way to the radio station, and I stopped into Wawa for gas and coffee, and he was creepy. He scared the you-know-what out of me. And that was before the shooting. And he was really scary. When I left, I was looking behind me. He was so scary. Yeah. And if you remember, I remember one girl the day of the shooting. They were interviewing this girl, and other kids said, "Yeah, Nicholas. I know it was Nicholas Cruz." They knew. One girl ran into him in the hallway when he was escaping, and she said, "Nicholas, I'm surprised to see you. I thought this would have been you doing this in the hallway while he was escaping." So, there were all kinds of warning signs, and you know what? There's warning signs with most of these nutcases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a scary thing to go out in the public at this point. You don't want to, look at the person the wrong way, or just, one time I was at the gas line, in my neighborhood, and there was a car that was in front of me, and I didn't know which direction she was going. And I said, I kind of just tapped my horn, and she got out of the car and started screaming, and I was terrified. And then I run into her at the grocery store, and she had some issues. So,
well, hey, listen, and wait until July when everyone who's legally able to purchase a gun can carry a concealed gun without a permit or training starting in July. What do you think it's going to be like in Florida then?
That
scary.
Honestly, it's very scary. I don't guns are, we have illegal to carry it, but to not have it, to not permit is very, very, very.
Well, with the permit comes training. And listen, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break and be back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. We're going to see a daytime high today, somewhere in the mid-80s. A lot of sunshine expected. High pressure still in control, so we will remain dry with low humidity. I'm WPD App 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Palm Beach Expressway still crashing this morning. Moving up the speed between local Victoria and Jupiter. Some very light road just now. And 95 North Palm Beach, Beach and Boca. The surface streets are crash free, but we are seeing some more volume on Jog Road and Military Trail between Washington Boulevard and Hyde Biloxo. More volume on Southern Boulevard and North Lake eastbound coming out of Anchorage. And some light traffic on 95 heading southbound coming from Morgan County. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, as usual, the sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida. Look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic on First Water.
Traffic service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. BBKC has the best derby party south of Churchill Downs. Kentucky Derby Fest is coming up May 6th. Check out the on-track party with Jumbo Serene, live music from Sip and Fire.
Okay. Oh, I just came across a story. These liberals are really sickos. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to go to the phones after the break. Phone's pretty busy today. Good calls today, too. We've had some good calls. I don't think so, D. I mean, if Murdoch was going to sell, he would have kept Tucker around. Tucker leaving devalues the company, devalues it. He would let the buyer fire him. He just devalued his own company. He may still sell it, but he didn't fire him because he's selling. That makes no sense. They've lost like 40% of their audience. That affects the revenue they're generating big time. The advertising agencies buy television ads daily and hourly based on those numbers. I don't think he would devalue his company because he was selling it. I could be wrong. Well, there's a Trump rally. I'm going to bring this up on the air. There's a Trump rally in Des Moines, Iowa next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. Do you think Fox is going to carry it after desperation to get viewers? They may. They may be so desperate to get you back that they may actually carry a Trump rally. Don't watch it. Not on Fox. Don't watch it on Fox. Fox list, that's right. Now, I don't know. They're getting pretty. They'll get pretty desperate. Getting pretty desperate. Who knows what they'll do? They're going to pull some stunts to try to fool people back. Boy, oh boy. This has been a very eventful week for me.
Celebrating 45 years on the air.
Indeed, we are back. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right, that's it for you. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
You know, I listened to this thing in New York. I didn't see the video. I do know one thing, that I used to go to work in my car safely every morning to my job. I know you take your vehicle to work, to your studio every day safely in your car, unless you have to step out. You might step out into a gas station with crazy people. But can you imagine having to take a train every day in New York City, which is full of crazy people, and criminals, insane people, pushing people on tracks, stabbing them, hitting them with axes, punching them in the face, going nuts, harassing people, and you sit there and you gotta sit there in fear because you fear for your own life, because that's the situation in the New York subway, where the ridership is down so much, but some people are.
What was the name of the guy that shot the guys on the subway? Okay, Bernie Getz. Bernie Getz. Okay, so this. I know, I know. So Bernie Getz, this Marine is the new Bernie Getz.
And this is my opinion. I mean, it's opposite yours, but I mean, my opinion is that God, there should be more people standing up. Unfortunately, this crazy person died, but he was wailing and flailing prior to that, throwing trash, screaming in people's faces, and this guy took it upon himself to subdue him along with two other people.
I understand. I understand. But was it? But you know, listen. I know most of what you say. I'll agree with. You know, it's so cheap to go to New York right now. Because people are afraid to go. And my daughter wanted me to go to New York with her, and I said, no way. I said, I'm a tourist. I don't know the city that well, and I don't know what's safe and not safe. Oh, the subway is it's like a, you know, it's like the Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger on the subway. You're taking your life into your hands, absolutely.
Right, the ridership is down. If they arrest this guy and he goes to trial, guess what happens? There'll be nobody taking a train. New York will fall totally.
Well, the guy, listen here. I understand that the guy's a Marine, and I support Marines, but he held him in the chokehold for how long? 15 minutes? He's clearly dead.
And there were two other people trying to hold the guy down. The guy was a total...
But that doesn't mean that you can kill someone, even accident. I know he didn't mean to kill him, but he did.
He was on. You don't know what he was on. You don't know what the toxicology is going to show that he was on some kind of thing. Now, listen, I know he's not a trained police officer.
I'm sure this guy was on something. I would be shocked if he wasn't. What does that mean?
Means that God forbid you have to take a train every day. Your attitude towards this particular Marine would be different. It's not black and white. It's not in the book. It's not something that a life was taken, so he has to go to jail. It's not like that.
Yeah, sure. You know, I knew someone who had a teenager in their family. There was a teenager in their family. They were skipping school. And this happened many years ago, and this teenager is now a grown man. So I'm going to be vague because I don't want, you know, I don't want this out with their name, but they were skipping school and they were with their friends at mom and dad's house, and they were looking at the gun, and the gun accidentally went off and killed one of their friends. They went to jail. It was an accident, manslaughter. What this Marine did is clearly manslaughter.
In an environment that calls for manslaughter at times. I'm sorry to say that.
No. If he had physically attacked and threatened, like if he had jumped on a woman and started beating her, yes, you have to wait. Yes. Listen. I was okay. About 10 years ago. There is, in West Palm Beach, there's a McDonald's on the west side of the I-95 exit. My daughter had to use the little girl's room. I was with my wife. No, let me tell people what happened, Richie, and I'm explaining. My wife and daughter go inside McDonald's so she can take my daughter to the bathroom. I waited in the car, and I was backed into the spot, which I never do. I'm not one of those back-end Parker guys, but I was that day. There was a guy who looked homeless. He was black, and he was standing at the door. When my daughter and wife walked out of the door, he started following them. And I knew that he was looking to mug my wife. So I started the car up and drove up to them, and he turned around and walked away. He looked crazed. He was getting ready to mug my wife. My wife has a medical pump with a tube that goes into her heart 24 hours a day, which she has today. And then, so he might have thought her medical pump was a purse and could have killed my wife by snatching that, or at least caused her to bleed very badly. Should I have run him over, or did I do the right thing trying to defuse it? If I would have run him over, would I have been charged with manslaughter?
Yeah, you should have run him over. You defused it. You did the right thing.
Well, this Marine. Why does the Marine get to kill somebody?
You go take a train in New York for 1 week, okay? You go every morning and see what goes on a New York City train, and then you come back and tell me you're going to talk about McDonald's.
Remember the after 9/11. I can't remember the guy's name, but remember the shoe bomber that was on a plane? There was a Muslim. This was after 9/11, but not long after. I can't remember how long after, but it had to be the first year, within the first year after 9/11. There was a Muslim who was going to light his. He had a bomb in his shoes. He went to light the bomb on his shoes. It didn't go off, thankfully, properly. The passengers jumped him and held him down because this was after 9/11, and they knew what happened on 9/11. They didn't put him in a chokehold and kill him. They overpowered him and held him until the plane landed, and he was arrested. This Marine and the people that were helping him, they could have subdued him until they got to the next stop where there would have been a transit cop.
I could say this to you. The word was he didn't put that much pressure on a guy's neck, regardless of whether you want to.
He is a trained Marine. Listen, you were in the Army. Marines and soldiers are trained to kill. He's a highly trained killing machine, a Marine. Okay, and he held him in that chokehold for 15 minutes. I don't know how long into it until he was dead, but come on, I know he didn't mean to do it, but that doesn't mean he gets a free pass.
I'm talking about if you don't give him a free pass, nobody's going to want to take a train because you're dealing with not just that one incident. You're dealing with a daily take a train every day in New York and people threatening your life every day, screaming at you with knives, guns, punching you, stabbing you. I mean, it pushing you into trains on track.
Well, then you don't ride the subway.
Well, what do you do?
Move.
The city of New York.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Not the guy, not the Marine. You want to see dirty hands? It's the city for not cleaning up that subway. It's Geraldo Rivera for emptying out the insane asylums all over the country.
Yeah, Willowbrook. Yeah, this is all these things. You're correct. All of this is because of Geraldo. We used to have mental institutions. We don't really have them anymore. And Geraldo, And it is these liberal jerks that are running New York City, absolutely. And
the next day to come out. If you get punched or stabbed in New York City on the subway, the guy's on the street within 10 hours.
Yeah.
Hold him in.
Well, you know what? The Marine was released. He killed someone and he was released.
He should have been. What do you think? They're going to release him if they didn't think the guy did the right thing? I think he did the right thing. You think because it's in the book, you take a life, you got to have manslaughter. I think the circumstance.
Well, if your life, unless your life is being threatened.
You don't know what this guy did. Supposedly the guy was screaming in people's faces, going. You don't know what he was saying.
Screaming in people's faces is not threatening your life. That's not threatening your life.
But you got 2, 3 a day on a train with pieces of kids.
Then move. If you can't handle the subway, you got to move. I know it's dangerous.
You would never come to work if you had to go every day and see this.
No, I wouldn't take the subway. No, I'd move out of the city. Yeah.
Have a great morning.
Yeah. I mean, I want to hear, do you guys agree or disagree with that? I mean, come on. I'm not defending the lunatic on the subway. I understand, and it is the city's fault. It's the mayor's fault. It's Bragg's fault. It's their fault. It's the people of New York who elect these liberal jerks. I get it, but all of the witnesses have said that he was not, although he was out of control and a disturbance, was not threatening anyone's life. And you just can't go around killing people like that. You just can't do it. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I don't know if this may not be a popular position in conservative circles, but and because AOC has gotten involved and things are getting political, it's, of course, going to get racial. The Marine's white, but I'm sorry, no. I'm not opposed to the Marine getting involved and subduing the guy. What I think that he did that was wrong was kill the guy. Big difference there. Our number's toll free. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We don't have... okay, well, let's take the break. We'll be right back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and I...
Group.
Okay.
Attention veterans, active duty military, civilians, and contractors. If you were issued earplugs between 1999 and 2015 and were diagnosed with hearing loss or ringing in the ears, you may be entitled to compensation. The manufacturer...
Oh, that's okay. That's no problem. I didn't know. That's okay. That's okay. I hit the dump.
Or tinnitus. If you or a loved one were issued earplugs and were diagnosed with tinnitus or hearing loss, don't wait. You fought for this country, and our attorneys want to fight for you. Call 800-405-7177 now for a free legal consultation and to see if you may be eligible to file a claim. Time restrictions may apply, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. So call 800-405-7177 now. Again, 800-405-7177. That's 800-405-7177.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is...
It sure is. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Oh, man. Now, I want to tell you, Mother's Day is coming up. There's no better gift to get your mom than something from MyPillow.com. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, there are just incredible deals that will make great gifts for Mom on her day. I want to just tell you quickly about the new 3-inch MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0. I have one of these. We bought one for our guest room, and it's an upgraded version of the original 3-inch MyPillow Mattress Topper. It has that cooling technology in it. And, you know, my daughter... we got it for her when she was visiting, and the first night she was staying with us, she slept without the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, and the second night, and then the rest of our visit, she was sleeping with the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0, and she said the first night was like sleeping on a slab of concrete, and sleeping on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 was like sleeping on a cloud. Yeah. I have the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It will change your life. It makes a great gift for Mom, and it comes in every mattress size there is. All right, every mattress size there is. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 is available in it. Also, with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 is 40% off, and you get free shipping. That's right, 40% off and free shipping. And if you're not going to see Mom, you can have it delivered directly to her. And if the mom is your wife, you're getting her something for Mother's Day, it's a gift, guys, that you get to take a benefit of as well, because you can sleep on it too if you buy one for your wife for Mother's Day. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Hey, listen, you are very much welcome to call in about anything that I brought up so far, including the subway incident. And I agree with everything Richie says up to the point where it's okay for the Marines to go around killing people on the subway that aren't threatening someone's life. Okay? And homeless people can be scary. Oh, my goodness. You know, we get them here in Florida, especially in the winter. In Florida, the homeless come, they're like the birds. They come to Florida for the winter. You know, and sometimes I've been in situations where homeless people are pretty scary. Pretty scary. And I know a lot of you have had that. You know, a caller earlier called from Deerfield. My wife and I were at the Deerfield Pier one morning. Went down there for breakfast, checking out the pier. My wife goes in the ladies' room, and a homeless woman walked in that was totally insane and scary. I can't, you know, I'm right there at the door. I called my wife on the phone. I said, get out of there. And I said, I'll come in if you need me to. This crazy homeless woman just went in, and she was crazy. So I know, and I've been around homeless people, sadly, and they are crazy and scary. But that doesn't mean you can put them in chokeholds and kill them if they're not threatening your life. But your thoughts are certainly welcome at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And maybe I'm wrong. You guys can convince me I'm wrong, and I'm always open to that. But I think in this instance, I am correct. Unless something comes out that he had a weapon or was threatening lives. But I don't see that. I see the exact opposite coming out from the witnesses. All right, now the lowlives over at CNN, you want to talk about fake news. They have a story here today that is just, it's journalistic malpractice and it's sick. Here's the headline. This is CNN. Because of Florida abortion laws, she carried her baby to term knowing he would die. And they have this very sad story, which I'm going to read to you. And then buried in the story is the truth. And of course, you know, in Florida, we have limited abortion. DeSantis just signed into law no abortions after 6 weeks, except in certain instances. Rape, incest, life of the mother, things like this that have to be documented. So listen to this story. And they do put the truth in it, but it's way down, way down. This is CNN here. A Florida woman unable to get an abortion in her state, which is not true, okay, but as you'll find, but I'm just reading to you from CNN. A Florida woman unable to get an abortion in her state carried to term a baby who had no kidneys. Deborah Dorbert's son Milo died in her arms March 3rd, shortly after he was born, just as her doctors had predicted he would. So, I mean, this is a sad story, and it gets sadder. But it's not because of Governor DeSantis, Republicans, MAGA, or the Supreme Court that she was unable to get an abortion, as you'll find out. He gasped for air for a couple of times when I held him, said the 33-year-old mom. I watched my child take his first breath, and I held him as he took his last one. I mean, this is really very sad. I mean, it is. I mean, this is a tragedy. She said her pregnancy was proceeding normally until November, when at 24 weeks, an ultrasound showed that the fetus did not have kidneys. Not only was the baby sure to die, her doctors told her this, okay, and obviously with no kidneys, but the pregnancy put her at especially high risk, and it was possible she would not even survive the pregnancy or the birth. Her doctors told her it was too late to terminate the pregnancy in Florida, which bans nearly all abortions after 15 weeks. The only options were to go out of state to get an abortion or to carry the baby the full term. And Dorbert and her husband didn't have the money to travel. What followed was an agonizing 13 weeks of carrying a baby she knew would die and worrying about her own health. It left her with severe anxiety and depression for the first time in her life. Okay, now this is a sad story, and it's a god-awful story. And CNN, they have the truth in the next section, but it's buried so far into the story, no one reads that far. You know, when it comes to reading a story, most people read the headlines. 95% of people read the headline, that's it. Of the other 5%, the majority of them just read the first paragraph or two. 2% read the whole story. So most people think this tragedy, she couldn't get an abortion, the baby suffered, the mom suffered, the family suffered. It's a sad story. I'm not going to attack a grieving mother, but she has some sick, twisted doctors, I'm here to tell you. Okay, this is back to the CNN story. Florida law allows abortions after 15 weeks if 2 doctors confirm the diagnosis of a fatal fetal abnormality in writing. But doctors in Florida and states with similar laws have been hesitant to terminate such pregnancies for fear someone will question whether the abnormality was truly fatal. The penalties for violating the law are severe. Doctors can go to prison and face heavy fines and legal fees. So her doctors wouldn't sign the letter saying that the baby was going to be unable to survive. They wouldn't sign the letter. Under Florida law, this woman could have had an abortion, but her doctors wouldn't sign the letter. See, now, we don't know too many details about the doctors or why they wouldn't sign the letter. But if what they say is true in the medical records, they could have signed the letter and the abortion could have happened and no one would have prosecuted them. A baby with no kidneys, they've got the ultrasound. Okay? Come on. And doctors in other states, they say, have not been signing such letters out of fear. I would say, now in this instance, we don't know. But I would say in some of these cases, the doctors are not signing the letters because they want a test case. You know, it's like in that movie about the death penalty with Kevin Spacey. Remember, and spoiler alert, you know, The Life of David Gale. Isn't it The Life of David Gale? You know, the activists against the death penalty, they run up against people saying, well, what innocent man has been executed? So the whole movie is about death penalty activists setting up an innocent person to be executed, okay? Because they wanted a test case. And I think a lot of doctors want a test case. And doctors in many, again, I don't know about this one, but doctors in some of these instances, no doubt in my mind, are not signing the documents because they want stories in the news of women like this not being able to get an abortion and then blaming Republicans because they want to change the law or they want Republicans to lose elections. You know, right after this happened, there was a story. Remember there was a 10 or 11-year-old girl who was pregnant in Ohio, and they took her to Indiana, if I remember correctly, to get an abortion. It was after 6 weeks. She couldn't get an abortion in Ohio. Well, first of all, the doctors knew she was pregnant before, and they put the abortion off until after the 6 weeks for the test case and the story. And second, did the mom or the doctors call the police and arrest the man who impregnated the 10-year-old girl? And we found out it was the boyfriend of the mother. Was he arrested? I don't think so. The rapist? You know, these doctors who do abortions, oftentimes, maybe more often than not, are also activists. And activists are always trying to set things up. You know, even the great Rosa Parks, she did a great thing, right? But she set up a situation to get arrested when she sat where she wanted to on the bus. And that's okay. What she did was okay. No one died or suffered because of what she did right then and there. But activists set up news events and test cases all the time. And I'm here to tell you that this woman could have had an abortion in Florida. She should have gone to another doctor if she had to have it so bad, who would sign the letter. And if her doctors wouldn't sign the letter, there's two possibilities that are most likely. One, what we're reading is not true. Or two, they wanted a test case. Three is they may be generally scared, and if they're that out of their mind, they shouldn't be practicing medicine. But this story is such a misrepresentation in CNN. And let me ask you this. A terrible story like this, and here's the headline, remember, because of Florida abortion law, she carried her baby to term knowing he would die, which is a lie. It's because of her doctors that she carried the baby to term knowing the baby would die when it was born. The doctors did this, not Florida law, not Ron DeSantis, not Republicans, not MAGA, not the Supreme Court. Her doctors did it. How did she get on CNN, though? You know, a tragedy like this is god-awful. How did this woman get on CNN? How did CNN learn about this? Have you asked yourself that? What connections did this woman, her circle, her family, her doctors, what connection did all of these people have to get her on CNN? There's a lot of things to look at here. Are these activists? Is she connected with activists? You know, there really should be, and Governor DeSantis, I'm giving him a lot of grief that he deserves lately, but Governor DeSantis should launch an investigation into this and find out why the doctors would not sign the letters. And by the way, don't just ask them. Ask them under oath. Swear them in under oath, under penalty of perjury. And let's find out why they would not sign the document. And by the way, sadly, the mother would have to be put under oath too, and the father and anybody else involved. And and I mean, I hate to put people that are grieving through such a thing, but this needs to be investigated. This could be an incident of malpractice. I don't know, but there's a lot missing here. And DeSantis needs a win. He's looking bad. He's doing a lot of stupid things. If he could take a break from bashing Disney and get involved in this. All right, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're welcome to call in about anything I've brought up since 6 a.m. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are. I'm Brian. It's The Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, W. Meyer, HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. We're going to see a daytime high today, somewhere in the mid-80s. A lot of sunshine expected. High pressure still in control, so we will remain dry with low humidity. I'm WPD App 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Palm Beach expressways are crash-free. We do have an accident though in Palm Springs along Forest Hill Boulevard and Fairview Village Drive, also on Mandarin Boulevard and Keyline Boulevard. Another crash from Boca Raton on St. Andrews Boulevard just south of Glades Road. Turnpike northbound before Sunrise Boulevard, the crash and car fire now cleared. An accident still blocking the left lane on the Turnpike southbound before Hollywood Boulevard. This is what's sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida's sweet corn is
No, that's a terrible story. I mean, what do you guys think? Why do you think the doctors didn't sign off on it? Oh yeah, it's beautiful outside. Beautiful day. Oh, it happened. It's just a matter of what's being left out of this story.
By more than one-third in a large clinical trial. Ukraine denies it, Russia accusing it of using drones to try to assassinate Putin in an attack on the Kremlin. Zelensky says Ukraine is fighting on its own ground. This is ABC News.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
I'm going to take some more calls, but you're welcome to call in on these because I got a few other stories I got to bring up, and I probably need to go back over what I opened with at 6 on the Biden bribe for people that are just tuning in. Because that's some pretty big stuff.
Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
It's Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera. You get a doorbell camera. And you get a doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone. But the first 42 oldies channel listeners call 1-833-283-5050.
Yeah, that's a terrible story with that mother. If you're new, this is our top of the hour break. I'm just reading over some stories I want to be talking about after the break. I'm going to take some calls first, but then I got a couple more stories I got to get into. All right, we're coming back.
6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. It's 5 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning, Thursday, May the 4th, 2023. I still can't get used to saying 2023. We are living in the roaring 20s, people. Oh, yeah. Well, it'll be the roaring 20s after Trump wins in 2024. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Oh, boy.
Joe from New Jersey.
Hey, what's up?
Brian, I agree with Richie, the bus driver, 100%. You got to at least wait for all the facts to come out. We've been down this road a million times, and this country is on the brink of getting on fire again this summer with all these savages who hate our country, trying to pick up on anything they can to use as an excuse.
Well, okay. Let's. You're talking about the subway incident. Okay, a couple things. When you say wait till, hold on. When you say wait until the facts are all out, what is that? How long is that? What does that mean? Like after a trial?
No, the toxicology to find out if this guy was on drugs.
Medical examiner said he died from the chokehold. They fast tracked the autopsy. They said he died from the chokehold.
Either way, I'm saying the Marine was in his right to step up, to step in, and try to protect.
Well, so hold on a second here. Hold on a second. You are, if someone is assaulting you or threatening you, or someone else, if you're out in public and somebody is being threatened, you do have a right to intervene. But do you have a right to kill someone?
No, he didn't intend to kill the guy.
That doesn't. Well, listen. If you leave a bar tonight drunk and kill someone, you didn't mean to kill someone. You were just trying to get home. Just because you didn't mean to do it doesn't mean a crime hasn't committed. That's manslaughter.
I don't think that's a good analogy. This guy was threatening everyone on the train, saying, I demand to eat food because all you liberal idiots have taught me that I can do whatever I want and not work and rob people and steal, and they're going to release me tomorrow. And so somebody had the balls to step up, and that guy effed around and found out. More crimes. 40 repeat arrests, repeat violent offenders being released onto our street at the end. And the only way to stop it
is to kill them all. To kill them all.
No, not kill them all.
Just some of them, to send a message.
Until the police wake up, get off their ass, and show up on that train, hold the animal down until help arrives. Yes.
Yeah, but listen, why you mean to tell me that a trained Marine, and he did, and there were a couple other guys there too, by the way. You're telling me a trained Marine and a couple of other guys couldn't have held him down, that he had to do the chokehold? Let me ask you, a few years ago, there were those servicemen on that train in Europe, and there was a Muslim terrorist. Did they kill those terrorists on board? Or did they just attack and subdue them? No. The Marine did the right thing stopping a lunatic, but he went too far. He killed him. It's manslaughter.
Maybe you convinced me a little bit that he went too far. He held on too long. But he didn't do the wrong thing by stepping up. More people need to step up. He held him for too long, possibly shouldn't have done so. Other people.
Listen, the other day, a couple days ago, I was at an intersection, and there was a car accident in the intersection. This was on Glades Road and 441, in West Boca. Glades Road and 441, and I saw these two cars hit, and they get out of the car, and it was a truck and a car. The guy was like my age, and he was ticked off, and a girl got out of the car that looked like she was in high school. And he pointed, I could see, they were the other side, he was pointing his finger, yelling at her. So what I did is, I had to turn. When I turned, I stopped and watched what was happening, okay? I didn't go get involved. I watched what was happening, and if the guy got too far, I would have gone over there. I would have called the police while I was on my way and gone over there. Okay? That's what you do. I didn't go over there and put him in a chokehold because he was screaming at this high school girl.
Okay.
I was at a gas station a couple years ago. I talked about this on the air after it happened. I was at a gas station a couple years back, and I was getting gas. And there were homeless people at the gas station, which I hate this gas station. And these two young girls, I don't know how old they were, 20s, teens, I don't know, pulled up to get air in their tires. And homeless guy started talking to them, asking them for money. After I was done filling up my car, I stood there at the pump to see if he did anything. And then when they left, I left. I didn't go get involved and inject myself into it. You know, you can stand up and do the right thing as a man and as a gentleman without killing people. And the Marine went a little too, and I'm sure you and others in this audience have stories like the ones I've shared, you know. But come on, you know, the Marine went a little too far.
You convinced me that he went a little too far, but I think we need to encourage more people to step up and help the innocent and stop worrying about the criminal and what he's suffering and what he went through and how he was raised. I could care less about a repeat offender who keeps terrorizing the country, doesn't want to work, get a job, go to a mental institution, do whatever you got to do. Just leave the innocent, hardworking people the hell alone.
But a Marine, the Marine, listen, couldn't the Marine have clocked him? He had him down. He had him down in that video, which I would encourage you not to watch. I only watched it because if I'm going to talk about it, I need to be properly informed to talk about it. I would recommend you don't watch it because you see a man die in the video, and you can't unsee those things. And it's more dramatic than the George Floyd video. Okay, so I don't watch the video. I'm telling you, please don't watch it. But a Marine, this Marine could have done more than kill him. He could have, with the other guy that he had, they could have sat on him. They could have held him down. He could have clocked him in the face and knocked him out. He went too far.
Mm-hmm. You're correct. But who knows what that poor victim Marine is suffering? Maybe he went to war and has PTSD. Are we going to care about his mental health, or are we just going to care about the animals terrorizing people?
Well, then that if he we don't know anything about the Marine. Just because someone's a Marine doesn't mean they get a. I mean, gee whiz, Lee Harvey Oswald was a Marine. Just because someone is a veteran doesn't mean they get a pass. John Kerry's a veteran. Hunter Biden, he was in the Navy for a week before they threw him out for that cocaine thing. Just because someone was in the service doesn't mean they get a pass. It doesn't mean we don't support our veterans.
If you're going to take the time to look at the individual problems and background of the terrorist criminal, then it's at least the very same for the citizen who stood up and tried to do the right thing. Maybe he went too far. I think you...
Listen, these two guys, okay, I talked about this a few times on the air. These two guys that were trying to rob me on the side of the road a few weeks ago, right? You know, and a lot of people said, well, if you had your gun with you, you could have pulled your gun out on him. No, I could not. They were not threatening my life. If I would have pulled my gun, I could have gotten arrested, and it very well may have escalated things. But you just can't use deadly force unless you were threatened, unless your life is in danger, or if you're interjecting to save someone else's life. But you cannot use deadly force because someone's yelling and screaming. They have to actually be doing something that's life-threatening.
First guy he ever smoked out that died, that ended up dying. So I like to...
Maybe.
Just because one toxicology report came back in 24 hours saying he was clean. The George Floyd family got like 3 different...
George Floyd was different. You know, he was, first of all, committing a crime, and there were a lot of other things, you know, with police officers. And, you know, Derek Chauvin stayed on him as long as he did because he was afraid there'd be a riot. And, you know, even the paramedics knew George Floyd was dead but pretended to treat him because they didn't want the crowd to know he was dead. So, you know, that was a whole nother situation than this one. They involve something similar, but they're very different.
This guy was just threatening people. We need to know, we need to see the video of him as threatening literally threatened.
Well, unfortunately, when it comes to videos, people start filming after an event happens, and rarely do you see video of what led up to it. So we have to go by the eyewitnesses on the subway, and so far the witnesses that we've heard from on the subway said he was not he was a disturbance and he was causing problems, but he wasn't threatening anyone's life, is what we've heard so far. Hey, listen, I got to run for the break, but good call. Thanks for calling from Jersey. All right, we'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
You're a Florida homeowner, and you know that real estate is selling for the highest prices ever. With so many listing their house, you want your house to stand out above the rest and to get top dollar. That's where licensed real estate agent Elena Castro comes in. She's with Ballesteri Real Estate that's been in business since 1964. Working with homeowners, buyers, landlords, and tenants for over 18 years, Elena Castro knows Florida real estate and has a proven record of smooth transactions, as well as top negotiation talents. When you list your property with Elena Castro, she knows the right listing price to get you multiple offers, so you accept the offer you want. And if you're looking to buy, she can help you with that too. Give Elena Castro a call right now. 954-478-5015. 954-478-5015. And get your house listed and sold for the price you want. 954-478-5015. 954-478-5015. Experience awe-inspiring landscapes and traverse the great Canadian Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer Train with bi-level glass dome coaches, August 15th through the 20th. The only passenger rail service that runs on the historic rail route connecting Canada from east to west. Are you ready to embark on this unforgettable journey? Head to briantrain.com and request a brochure. Book your spot now and make memories that will last a lifetime. That's briantrain.com and request your brochure.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey, Wisconsin. This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street, reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SMILE for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SMILE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SMILE.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name?
Juan.
Hey, Juan.
You were the same one that back in the day when Kyle Rittenhouse was being tried said that he cannot cross state line borders with a gun, et cetera, et cetera. You were also the one that said, that we live in Ron DeSantis free Florida, where we do have law and order. Thank God for Ron DeSantis. And thank God for Donald Trump, by the way. And now you're disparaging this Marine who actually took action because defund the police. The police aren't around because, well, they're in the blue state section where they defund the police. They don't have, there's not enough police people to patrol the jungle that these people are living in. What do you have an issue with?
Okay, couple things. Now,
Well, no, well, you know, he took action.
uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Okay, now, Kyle Rittenhouse is another situation because Kyle Rittenhouse had people tried to kill Kyle Rittenhouse, and he defended his life in self-defense. The people were trying to kill Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, on the subway. The guy on the subway, according to the witnesses on the subway, okay, he was not threatening anyone's life. You can't kill someone when they're not threatening someone's life. In fact, Kyle Rittenhouse would be in prison today if he just went and shot random people. He was acquitted because he was the one whose life was being threatened, and the evidence showed that he was defending his life. Yes.
You don't know. See, the thing is that when somebody's yelling and screaming at you, because I had a problem over here with the homeless individual where I live at, and I'm going to tell you something. When somebody starts to yell and wave their arms and flashlight you when you're driving by, and as a matter of fact, one of your sponsors will that help me with that. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know if that homeless guy is armed or unarmed.
Uh-huh.
All that. But the guy took action, not knowing what's going on. Other than
Listen. In the line of work I'm in, okay, I've been through things with listeners. Okay, I've had stalkers. I've been physically attacked. I've been put in the hospital. I've had guns to my face from things that have happened with listeners in this audience. I don't always talk about these things. And I've had people get in my face and scream at me and do all kinds of things over the years, okay? And you can't just kill someone unless they're threatening your life, okay? And believe me, you do know when your life is being threatened. And it looks like the guy on the subway was not threatening anyone's life. It's okay for the Marine to get involved and stop a guy who's harassing people, but it's not okay to terminate someone's life that's not threatening your life or someone else's.
But you don't know. I don't think nobody knows that. I don't think the Marine wanted to kill him, to tell you the truth. I mean,
That doesn't matter. That's what manslaughter is. People prisons are filled with people who killed people accidentally.
You know what? I think that by the end of the day, when it's all said and done, this Marine should be exonerated, and just like Kyle Rittenhouse was, eventually the truth will come out.
Well, listen. A lot more can come out today, tomorrow, or next year, and I'll change my opinion and view on this. But I got to talk about what we know now. What we might not. I can't talk about what we don't know. We only know what we know. Okay. So, and we talk. All right, take care. And we talk about the news and the issues on this program. I cannot wait for. We don't talk about criminal trials that are over and all the evidence, and we talk about things as they're happening. And facts, you get more facts. But based on what we're seeing right now, this is manslaughter. It was accidental. But when you kill somebody and you don't mean to, that doesn't mean, you didn't mean to kill him? Oh, okay. No, that's not the way it works. You're on the air. What's your name?
Ron Lakeworth.
Hey, Lakeworth.
Ron, you're 100% right. I don't agree with you a lot of times, but you're 100% right. A choke is a deadly force, okay? And these guys are trained, these Marines are trained that they know that if they choke the guy out, they can only cut off the air supply to the brain for about 3 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to go brain dead and you're going to die.
Well, see, the thing is, a Marine is not a police officer. A Marine is trained to kill. And that's what they know how to do, because in the situations that they're called to duty in, they're there to kill the enemy. They're trained to kill. That's why whenever there's a school shooting, I hear people say, well, we need to have veterans doing security everywhere. That's very dangerous. Soldiers, Marines are taught to kill, not to subdue. So no, it's. I remember.
When he choked him out, the fight was over. The guy passed out. 3 guys had him in control. Game over. Call the cops and take him away. Okay, he's gonna end up doing time for this.
I remember he should. Based on what we know now, he should do time. And it's unfortunate that Bragg, who's a dishonest, corrupt public official, okay, is overseeing this, and there's a whole political thing about it, and it's, and the mayor up there is another winner. But, this is, like I remember when I was a kid in the days of Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and all that stuff, they would talk about how their hands were deadly weapons and they couldn't use their hands and stuff like that, because they knew karate and all this stuff. A Marine is a deadly weapon that's trained to kill. And this guy went a little too far and someone's dead. Of course he's going to have drugs in his system. He's a homeless guy on the streets of New York who thinks he's Michael Jackson on the subway. But so what? That means it's okay to kill him? Come on.
You're 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, you're in Lake Worth, okay? Here in Palm Beach, we've cleaned up a lot of the homeless, but you go to Broward County. And every street corner has homeless people on them. And you know what? They're scary.
But you got to do each case is different.
Yeah.
They're comparing guys who put a gun to your head at the subway, but each case is different. This guy was just punching out somebody or beating on somebody, and all you got to do is subdue him. Game over.
That's right. All right, Lake Worth, take care. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Phones are very busy. After the bottom of the hour break, I'll go right back to the phones. It's okay to disagree. Some of these people, I'm not magging it. Listen, I'm sorry. And you know what? You don't know everything about the Marine yet either. Let's find out some more about him. Be careful. Be careful who you hitch your horse to. Is that the phrase? Or hitch your wagon to? I don't know what the phrase is, but it's an old phrase. I don't know. By the way, obviously, Steve is very under the weather with pretty bad chest cold or something, and I'm hoping he'll be back tomorrow. But if not tomorrow, I know he wants to come back tomorrow so he can give you his picks for the Kentucky Derby. So I know he'll be here at least for that tomorrow. There's no way he's going to miss giving out his yearly picks for the Kentucky Derby. All right, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll take our bottom-of-the-hour break and come back with your calls after this.
Making morning radio great again.
Be right back, guys.
Rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. We're going to see a daytime high today, somewhere in the mid-80s. A lot of sunshine expected. High pressure still in control, so we will remain dry with low humidity. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Expect some pretty heavy stop and go delays through Lake Worth on 95 heading northbound between 6th Avenue South and 10th Avenue North. We're also seeing the usual delays now on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield Beach into Boca. Turnpike north and southbound just a little bit slow passing Lake Worth Road, and we are seeing some slowdowns on 95 heading southbound heading into Indiantown from Martin County. And we also have a couple multi-vehicle crashes out there on the service streets in West Palm, Belvedere Road at Drexel Road, and Palm Springs, Forest Hill Boulevard at Fairview Village Drive, and in Boca Raton on St. Andrews Boulevard just south of Glades Road. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at follow freshfromflorida.com, and happy eating from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Traffic is service of Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC has the best derby party south of Churchill Downs. Kentucky Derby Fest is coming up May 6th. Check out the on-track party with jumbo screen, live music from Sip and Fire in the Connected, derby hat contest, barbecue food tent, bars, mint juleps, fun activities.
All right.
True oldies will be there with great handicapping tips and prizes. For info, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Just because because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bayou Station West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings, gone. Night sweats, gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall.
Well, the person about the liberals that the Marine was... Everything with liberals is about race. So, yeah, of course, they'd have a different opinion if the skin color was reversed.
561
Absolutely.
8893.
Are you a business owner? Are you interested in growing your bottom line? Then it's time to join the Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce with members from Jupiter to Miami. You can mingle at their monthly breakfast or after-hours network. Join a leads group. Learn something new at a masterclass or attend one of 3 women's events. There are over 300 events to choose from, including one for young professionals. Sound interesting? Call Allison or check out bocachamber.com. There is a 95% business tax deduction if you join before the end of the year.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are
Lost my internet.
where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors.
Well, everything with Bragg is race. Bragg needs something to get this Trump thing off his back.
To a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family.
You know, these people. Democrats are sick.
4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Come shopping this weekend at the West Palm Beach Antique and Vintage Festival. We have it the first weekend of every month, and it's this weekend at the South Florida Fairgrounds. You'll find hundreds of antique and vintage dealers. You don't want to miss this event. The West Palm Beach Antique and Vintage Festival, Friday, May 5th through Sunday, May 7th at the South Florida Fairgrounds. Doors open Friday, May 5th, Saturday the 6th, and Sunday the 7th. This antique and vintage show is huge. Visit the South Florida Fairgrounds website for more info. See you this weekend. There's something here for everyone.
You're a Florida homeowner, and you know that real estate is selling for the highest prices.
Coming back, last
ever.
commercial.
With so many listing their house, you want your house to stand out above the rest and to get top dollar. That's where licensed real estate agent Elena Castro comes in. She's with Ballesteri.
This is us on the cruise.
Since 1964.
Night out. One of the concerts on the cruise. Pretty good picture I got there, huh?
Elena Castro knows
Pretty cool.
real estate and has a proven record of smooth transactions.
Yeah.
As well as
Of course, we had the front row.
when you list your property with
That was a fun show. Any of you guys in the chat that were on the cruise, you remember that night? That was a great night, wasn't it? Oh, man.
And if you're looking to buy, she can help you with that too.
Yeah, Dan's right next to me in that picture. He's holding my drink so I could take the picture probably. It just popped up on my iPad.
And get your house listed and sold for the price you want.
This is me vlogging in the Virgin Islands. Let me find them. Hey, right there, that's me vlogging in the Virgin Islands, in the mountains. All right, we are back. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name?
Yes. How you doing?
All right, what's your name?
My name is Terry.
Hey, Jerry, what's up?
I'm with you. I'm with you on this because the thing is, this man's life, it was valuable. You know what I mean? And he didn't deserve to have his life taken from him like that.
Yeah.
It would have been different if he was threatening someone else's life. Then I can understand the man using force. You know what I mean? Because you have to protect people, their life is being threatened. I understand. But
yeah,
here he was just complaining about he was hungry.
Well, he was doing a little bit more than complaining that he was hungry. You know, he was harassing passengers. He was yelling at people on the train and scaring people. According to the witnesses, and that's all we have to go by. So our discussion has to be based on the witnesses. But the question is, did the Marine go too far? I think the Marine did the right thing standing up and stopping this guy from harassing people. But the chokehold where he choked him out and killed him is totally different. Now, here's a question for you. If the Marine was black and the homeless guy was white, do you think Bragg would be, you think Bragg would charge a black Marine who killed a white homeless guy?
Oh, he would have went to jail and he would have never got out. Because I was just thinking that same thing. I said, well, it was vice versa. And the Marine was black, and the homeless guy was white. Now, they would have locked him up, but they would have never let him out.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. That man is a human being. He's a black man, but he's a human being. He's not an animal.
What do you mean, but? He's a black man, but he's a human being? I mean, that's a strange thing you said.
Black man, but he's not an animal.
Uh-huh.
Why people have a tendency to call black people animals?
No, they don't. No, they don't. White people. No, excuse me. White people do not have a tendency to say that. That is, you are. Excuse me. You are racially stereotyping white people. No, white people do not say that. But homeless people that cause disturbances and yell at people do behave like animals oftentimes. I've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it too. The only person that said that, the only person that you said animal about black people was you.
No, your last caller said the same thing. Oh, he's an animal. Oh,
They didn't say that because he's black. They said it because he was harassing people and yelling at people on the subway. He wasn't behaving like a civilized person.
I understand it. But they should have subdued him, okay? And then they should have called the police or waited for the police to get there. So the guy probably wanted to go to jail anyway, just to get some food.
Probably.
Yeah, but the thing is that he still didn't deserve, because life is important. And the thing is, black lives matter just like white lives.
Who says they don't? Oh my God. Who says that they don't? Who says black lives and white lives are not equal? Who says that?
Why do you think black people die all the time? Die in the hands of a white man.
You know, white people die too.
Die in the hands of a black man.
Really? Really? Do you know who Ron Goldman is?
Huh?
Ron Goldman.
Hey. That's not a common thing.
Yeah.
For a black man to kill a white man.
Most blacks who are murdered by other blacks.
Yeah, there's a lot of black on black crime, and that's true. But my point is that a lot of black people,
But I asked you, you're not going to get away with this just because we're agreeing a little bit. You said that some people do not believe that black and white lives are equal. Who says? Give me a name of someone. Let me ask the question. The question will give you time to think of an answer. Give me a name of a white person that I'll know of, and the people in this audience know of, who's alive, a white person who believes that, and who has said that white lives are superior to black lives. Who has said that?
The KKK do it all.
No. Give me a name. Give me the name of someone that we know of, that the audience will know of, whose name I know, who you know, that says that black lives are less than white lives. I want to know who. That's a vague generality.
Names.
You don't know the name.
The white supremacists, the KKK.
You're telling me that there are people running around this country saying that black lives are worth less than white lives, and you don't know the name?
I don't know these people.
Why do you think that you can't name an individual who says something so outrageous? Why is it that you can't think of an individual who said that? No, I'm not. Tell me, why do you think? Yeah. I'm asking you, I'm not asking you for the name now because you can't produce it. What I'm asking you was this. Why do you think you cannot name someone, an individual, who says that black lives are worth less than white lives? Why do you think you cannot come up with a name like that of someone? Why do you think that is?
Individual that don't care about black lives, I don't even care to remember that.
No. You haven't forgotten. Now you're trying to say there is someone, but you forgot. No, you would remember that. I'd remember that. It's because it's not like that.
Are you kidding me?
No. I mean, I know this is your reality, but you're living in an alternate universe.
Like you said, I'm black, you're white. Okay. He changed different from you.
Really? Okay, give me an example of something that you look at and I look at and we see different things.
Injustice.
Give me an example.
Okay.
What I want to find out is, who are these people that say white lives are worth more than black lives? I want to know who these people are. Because if we have people that are so sick, twisted, and racist in our society, I want to make sure that we call them out and don't have any contact with them, and maybe we'll even cancel them. So I'm trying to get the names of the people who say these terrible things.
Of these people, I cannot know.
Maybe because they don't exist.
My point, yes, they exist.
Then why can you not name them?
I heard you say that you don't confirm someone holding their fist up and saying white power.
What? Did I say what?
See, you don't condone. You're not for people that hold up their fists and say white power.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you have a right to say it under the First Amendment, but no, I don't support such bizarre, stupid comments.
The same thing.
No, Trump never said white power. Oh my goodness. See, you know what's happening right now? Let me tell you what's happening right now. You live in a delusion. Your life is a delusion, and I'm waking you up from the delusion.
I'm wide awake right now. so my point.
No, see, your whole life is about race. Everything in your life is about race. Okay, and you mean to tell me that a man like you, who is obsessed with race, who says that there are people out there that say white lives are worth more than black lives, and you can't tell us a single soul who said it?
Because I deal with it almost every day on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, okay. Someone came up to you yesterday and said they're more valuable as a life than you are because they're white and you're black? Someone said that to you yesterday? Tell me that story.
They said that to me, but they treat me like that.
Give me an example. Give me an example of you being treated by a white person as a lesser person. It happens every day. It must have happened several times this week. Pick the worst example in the past few days and tell the audience that story.
Let me use this one example. One day I was talking to you on the phone, and I was talking to you about Trump, and I called him the devil, But then the woman started talking to you about a fox, right? She called about maybe a couple of, matter of fact, the next minute she called when I hung up. And then she's talking about this fox that you had issues with, right? Now, and then she went on to talk about this fox. So the thing is, and she said, sort of like that animal that you just hung up with. And I'm thinking to myself, this lady actually just called me an animal.
Well, I don't remember the call, but are you, I don't know about the lady, but are you suggesting that I talk to her for a longer period of time than you because she's white and you're black?
No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying the woman literally called me an animal. Okay.
That does not, if someone calls you an animal, does not mean that they're calling you an animal because you're black. Maybe you behave in a certain way. I've had people call me an animal. I've had people call me all kinds of things. I'll tell you one thing a lot of people call me. I've been called, this happens all the time. People that listen to the show, I get called an a-hole. Now, I don't think I'm one. Do you think I'm one? Do you think I'm one? Okay. So just because somebody calls you a name doesn't mean it's true, and it doesn't mean when people call me an a-hole, all right? Are they calling? And sometimes they're black, sometimes they're Hispanic, sometimes they're white. Are they calling me that because they think I'm a jerk or because I'm white?
I heard people call you racist, and I don't believe it.
Okay, see, with you, every slight is a racial slight. Everything that happens to you is about skin color and race, okay? So no matter what happens to you, it's a racial slight.
Black man, if you want, you know what? I heard this guy on the television, and he was saying how this Indian guy was talking to him, and he was saying, well, this, that, and the other. And the guy says, you don't know what black people went through because you're not black.
What have you gone through because you're black that I haven't because I'm white?
Man, I've been through a ringer.
Give me an example. Give me an example. What have you gone through because you're a black man in America that I have not because I'm a white man in America?
I've been through a lot, trust me.
Give me an example. Give me an example of something that's happened to you because you're black that does not happen to me because I'm white.
Every day I go in the store. When I walk in the store, got money to pay for what I need. But they treat me different from a white person because I'm black.
So this happens every time you go into a store? Did this happen yesterday? Majority. When is how long ago was when is the last time this happened?
2 days ago.
Okay. What store was this? Where are you calling me from?
I'm not gonna go into all.
Wait a minute. I want to know the name of the store. Tell me the name of the store. Wait a minute. You're telling me that there's a store that discriminates against black people. It's obviously run by racists. You're going to cover for these racists? Don't you think people should know that there's a store that's racist, that discriminates against blacks? Right? Why aren't you covering up for these racists?
There's a lot of stores like that.
Okay, why are you covering up for the racist that did something to you in a store yesterday?
Right now.
Wait, you don't want to tell other people that don't use this store because there's racists there? I don't understand.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go through all that. My point.
What do you mean you're not going to go through all that? You know, another African American could go into this racist store and deal with these racist people that run it, and who knows, maybe they'll get arrested, maybe they'll get put in a chokehold like the guy on the subway. Why are you protecting racists?
You just don't know how many stores are racist.
Well, let's at least get to work and stop one. There's a lot of them, but there's one right now that you're covering up for. You are allowing racists to discriminate against blacks in the store that you're protecting.
I don't have a choice because I'm a black man.
You're calling anonymous. Nobody knows who you are.
I'd rather keep...
Just admit that you made it up. Just admit that it's not true and you're a liar. And I'll move on.
Lie.
You're lying. Either you're a liar because you're obsessed with race, and if there was a store out there discriminating against black people, you'd be calling me screaming at the top of your lungs about it, and you can't even make up a store.
A lot of people deal with racism in grocery stores, in clothing stores, even on the job. This happens.
Was this an independently owned store or a chain?
Well, it's more like a chain.
So why don't you call the corporate office and tell them that they're discriminating against blacks in this store?
That's an everyday thing.
No. Did you call the corporate office and report them?
No.
Could you give me the information off the... I got a break and talk to William Youngman with the Gold Report. If I put you on hold, will you give me the information on this racist store being run by racists so I can call the corporate headquarters and do what you won't do? Stop racial discrimination and harassment of blacks?
This is all the time. I don't want to deal with this, right?
You don't want to deal with ending racism. Well, luckily, Martin Luther King had a different attitude on such things than you. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Looking good. It's exciting times in the precious metals, Brian. Yesterday we saw gold go up $23 to $2,039.60. The Fed hiked the rates another quarter of a point, with some kind of talk that maybe they may slow down with that rate hikes, or to see what the effects are being. But in the meantime, gold did not like what it's hearing and seeing going on in this country, and continues to be the place for shelter for in financial storm, and that's what we're in. Gold up $23 yesterday, closing at $2,039.60. Silver gained 22 cents at $25.58, while platinum was down $11 at $1,054, and palladium lost $14 at $1,346. Overnight, the big news: gold hitting an new all-time high, getting up to $2,075.
Get out of town! That's a record, 5,000-year record.
Record, yes. And we've traded in a range overnight from 2,030 all the way up to 2,075. Of course, we could expect some selling pressure at that point, and we're right down to about $2,038.50 right now, which is down $1.60 right this minute. But that 2,075 is a breakout above the highs, as you know. And that was a challenge I thought we would see this week, and we certainly have.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Right now, still giving us a buying opportunity at $2,038.50. Silver down 8 cents at $25.50. Platinum down $9 at $1,045, and palladium down $1 at $1,345. What we're seeing is a run up in the gold, especially because that is the only real money in the world, and that has been been the best metal so far to be in. Has gained and has gotten up to about $26, but is finding some resistance at the $26 number, but still at $25.50.
So we hit a 5,000-year record high on gold, which, wow. So when it comes to buying gold right now, William Youngerman, what are some of the best deals that you have on people who want to get either involved for the very first time with the metals, or maybe they just want to add to their gold stack?
Yeah, 1 ounce gold coins are still a very good value. And we certainly recommend all of the different countries we have in with premiums at very reasonable prices right now, as while supplies last. For bigger buyers that are buying and maybe already have some coin portfolios, we're recommending the bigger bars, the 10-ounce gold bars and the kilo gold bars for the least premium.
Wow, this is a great time, people. And of course, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. And no matter where you're located, he can help you. You can buy no matter where you are located on the planet Earth from William Youngerman, okay? His number, toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, williamyoungerman.com, or stop right in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. Boy, this is and I remember when we first met you, William Youngerman, $435 an ounce gold, and now here we are at the all-time high at 2,075 we hit. Oh my goodness. All right, well, have a great day, William Youngerman, and we will finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, you too now. Thanks.
All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
It sure is. Callers on hold, stand by. Yes, yes, yes. I want to tell everyone about this incredible Rocky Mountaineer train trip from August 15th through the 20th through the beautiful Canadian Rockies. Now, it's already getting hot and humid here in South Florida, isn't it? And in August, you can't even stand walking from your car to the front door. It's so hot and humid. However, in mid-August in Canada, the weather is perfect. The Rocky Mountaineer train is the only passenger rail service that travels completely across beautiful Canada from east to the west. Its destination is Vancouver. There's fine wines along the way, incredible food prepared by chefs. It's a 2-story train. The top of the car has a glass dome, so you get the beautiful views. This is an amazing trip, and this is the best time of year to take it. To learn more, go to briantrain.com and request a brochure. And when you get that brochure, it'll give you all the details of this incredible trip on the Rocky Mountaineer. It's briantrain.com, briantrain.com, and request a brochure. All right, let's go to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Hey, Greg.
We're in agreement on the subway incident. But by the way, that last call was terminal. It was like You could erase that from.
It was terminal. Oh my goodness. You know what happens with a lot of the chronic callers? They get jealous. That caller, in fact, that call was so good. Hey, Mike, can you mark this show as a best of show? Because I think, yeah.
Your ratings will go down. Trust.
And of course, Greg too is always on the lookout to help me and make me look good. So he's giving me advice on the quality of the show.
How about this? After this call, I'll take a sabbatical. If you think of this chronic person that lives and dies.
What is that, a threat? Let me tell you. This is the longest, do you hear that threat? This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, okay? On the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the air. And on this May the 4th Be With You Star Wars Day, this show has been on the radio since Star Wars was in theaters in its original theatrical release in 1977, okay? And you mean to tell me that you think this show is dependent upon you?
How offended you are. Oh my God, I'm shocked by your...
No, excuse me. You think this show is dependent on you?
Hell no, definitely not.
Okay, well, on that point of agreement, goodbye. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's gonna, yeah, if y'all won't call and get, oh my goodness. Life goes on. Lots of people don't call anymore. Oh, I hear birds in the background. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. James from Boca.
Yes.
You know, it's just such a crazy world anymore. I just think the whole world needs to take a deep breath. We need to get our government straight, get our border closed. From this. That's pretty much all I really want.
Well, I don't know. Can we survive a sabbatical from Greg 2's calls? That's the serious question. All right, I like that. Great response. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Ask. Morning, Brian.
Hey, JJ.
Interesting show today. Definitely a best of, and I've enjoyed. And I agree with you on a bunch of things. Everybody has made some good points here and there, but I look at this New York, this Marine thing, and it's pretty upsetting. You know, first, bless the poor man that was homeless. I'm sure he wasn't having the best of life. He was probably mentally ill. And this Marine is most likely going to, exactly what you said, is probably going to be manslaughter. That's what it should be. More facts coming in would be one thing. But I blame this all on, the environment in New York City. Richie was right. New York City's a pit. It's like Snake Plissken world.
Well, you could make a case, and I'm not joking. You could make a case that Bragg is an accessory to the crime. And I'm serious about that because he set a stage where crime is okay.
With this type of stuff it's like a setup. It's like they're setting up normal people to have to defend themselves against crazy people. And then the normal people end up going to jail because something like this happens. Now, this Marine isn't trained. He's trained for a chokehold to kill somebody. If it was an MP, probably, because there's a difference between a chokehold and a VNR, which is a vascular, which actually puts people to sleep. Now,
yeah.
P would be trained for that, or a police officer. But this Marine, God bless the poor guy. He went too far. But, it's just... New York City. They're dealing.
Well, look at this. Look at this. This girl that killed the bride right after the wedding. Right, that's in the news right now. And she didn't mean to kill people, but it doesn't mean that she gets away with it.
Exactly. This guy didn't want to. I'm sure this Marine didn't want to kill him. But with regard to the politicians and this Bragasaurus dinosaur DA, hopefully he becomes extinct pretty soon. This is not the cream of the crop in New York. Okay, they're dealing with this is dirt from the swamp. They're dealing with just...
There was, and you say Snake Plissken. There was more law and order in the Duke of New York's reign of New York City than you have right now, because if you went against the Duke of New York, there was a penalty. Now there's really no penalty. Now there's a racial component here. So the Marine, there's a lynch mob for the Marine out there already. But but still, what he did, he went over. Hey, take care, JJ. Thanks for the call. All right, last call of the day. You're on the air.
Good morning. My name is Patty.
Hey, 30 seconds, Patty.
I just want to let you know that this whole race thing has to stop. I have had a gentleman from the deep south of Mississippi come and work for me. He and I have had a lot of time to sit and talk, and you know, it's something that's being taught in the home. And he, you know, we went through our childhoods and how we were raised and stuff like that.
No, well, listen, I got to run, but if you call back tomorrow, I'll give you more time. But you're right, that caller is a racist, and he was probably raised by racists. The caller from earlier, absolutely correct. Well, listen, thanks for the call. I'm sorry we're out of time. All right, we are out of time for today. Tomorrow is Open Phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. I know Steve will be back for his Derby picks. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump.
WWNN Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, I got to run.